whoever's going up and downstairs can't go up and downstairs anymore. Okay, or open the door. And I don't know what else was happening, but okay, just make a commercial. Wait until we stop with the person, make a commercial, and then go. Okay. Okay. Um, so back at it. If you want to elaborate on LA and why all the young people are flocking there, and we're talking a lot of young people are flocking to LA.
Oh, 100%. Well, LA, is really, I mean, arguably the capital, the center of like culture, for the entire planet is being produced in LA, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you have Hollywood and you have TV and you have Netflix and Disney and the comedy industry and the fashion industry and the hip hop industry and just like on and on and on. And so, and it's just vast. It's like, it's like multiple cities stitched together. And so you have this, this constant flow of young talent that, move to LA to, find fame or, find a job in that career. So it's not something that we have here in the Bay Area. So we used to have tech, but a lot of those people that moved to LA used to be here when it used to be more affordable. So that's really the biggest problem is that when we can make it affordable for creatives to move back into this town, then we'll start to see a big change.
Yeah, and I was going to hit on that. Like in the 70s, a lot of movies were being made in San Francisco. There was TV shows in San Francisco, Streets of San Francisco to, Dirty Harry's, the whole sequences. There was a lot of movies at the same time when we had all this cool stuff going on and cool music. I think that getting the movie industry to come back up here and do things, opening those doors up with government and stuff could also help it be more vibrant in San Francisco if it happens here, Europe. The big question.
Yeah. Well, I think the good news is that there's still a lot of people here who want to go out and have fun and do things. They're doing over 10,000 people on First Thursdays on 2nd Street. Every time there's a entertainment zone event, there's tons of people out there that, Temple and, they're doing well. So there is still a set of folks here who do want to support the nightlife world and want to be a part of it. I think that we have to open up more opportunities and make it easier to open venues. I think there is a shift in the government where we're making it finally, we're inviting people to open. It's not like you have to, as Mark said, how many decades was he fighting the police, fighting government. Now they're saying, hey, we just created this entertainment zone. Will you come start a club here? It's like, well, excuse me, is this a setup? And so there's that shift that we now have to really take advantage of. I think the next couple of years are going to be very interesting and very pivotal for us. And there's a couple reasons why. One is we have some huge events that are coming to the Bay Area and to California generally. We have the Super Bowl next year. We have the World Cup. LA is going to have the Olympics and the Super Bowl and the All-Star. We have all of this coming. And I think a lot of us felt a real switch turned on during NBA All-Star Weekend where everybody was like, hold on a second. This is a really special place.
We're back.
And we are back.
Get people from Bridge and Tunnel, right? They will come over.
Yeah.
If they have a reason to come, they'll come.
And they were blown away by the city and blown away by our nightlife and blown away by what we had to offer. And we nailed it. I mean, it was an incredible experience for everyone. And we had the capacity to do it. So we need that kind of thing on a much more regular basis, and we can do it. I've got a bill finally to try to get extended hours done, extending last call. I think we have a way to get it done this year, and I've been working really hard on it. At least allow folks to have it on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and long weekends. I think that if we were able to do that, that would really help. I'm excited, as you know, I'm really close with the folks at Empire, which is probably our last remaining major music label, particularly that has the reach that it has in a lot of different genres. And they just purchased One Montgomery right in the heart of the city.
It's right
one of the most iconic buildings in our city. Over 100 years old and 3 floors. And what they're going to do there, that building was $20 million. They'll probably put another 10 into it, and it's going to blow everyone's minds. And it's also going to put entertainment and nightlife and music right in the heart of our city, right in the financial district. And so hopefully that creates ripple effects where more folks want to come here and also build
Yeah.
things here, because it can't just be the nightclubs and the bars. We need the music labels. We need the recording spaces and
Yeah,
rehearsal spaces.
recording, all
We need
those things, yeah.
the folks who bring the artists, because it's like LA. You got to be at the cutting edge. You can't just be. You're not going to have a really cool nightlife city where it's just because you have some great looking nightclubs. It's because the artists who are there that people
Yeah.
want to be around, and the culture and the fashion and all of that. So we need to bring all of that together. And I do think Empire hopefully will be a big part of that.
So you're talking 4 a.m. on the weekends, right? 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.?
4 a.m. on the weekends.
Okay.
Allowing for cities to opt into that. We just, in the past, we've had, our biggest problem has been, I think, fear mongering around drunk driving, where there's no evidence at all that an extra 2 hours there at night has any impact on that. But in any case, that's been our main barrier. Well, now we have Uber and Lyft everywhere. Nobody's, taking the bus down to the club anyways. And so we have rideshare that's really changed the game on drunk driving. And I've been working hard with law enforcement and with the California Highway Patrol in particular to get a deal with them. And their bottom line was, as long as you don't have it on weekdays, because we're worried about the morning commute, we'll stay off the bill and we'll let it go.
So I think it would be massive. Like, say, I'm just gonna throw something out there that would be super cool. Broadway, all the restaurants are up there. You close Broadway down. You put DJs on both ends. You close down 11th Street. You put DJs on both ends. You close down 2nd Street by the Temple and make a big complex there of different kinds of music. So you have rock on Broadway. You've got like EDM music in front of his place, and then whatever going on 11th. You shut them all down. You have outdoor drinking until 4 in the morning.
Right. It's a game changer too.
People will come every weekend back to the city. It's going to take care of the hotel. It's going to take care of a lot of things if you do something all at once. But it needs to be marketed.
It needs to be big.
It needs to be big like that. Like, that's a real reason to come back. You know what I
We have
mean?
the
And then
entertainment
the
zones.
overflow comes to all the other late night guys here. Me, I'm late night. He's late night. But it would just come everywhere. But closing down and having 4 a.m., I have another club that I'm a partner of, Retro Junkie in Walnut Creek. They would leave there at 12:30 or 1. They would come over here afterwards to stay till 4 and be outside drinking with big DJs and stuff. It would draw hundreds of thousands of people a weekend, and the revenues would be massive. It's just, I think people would be upset at first that everything would be up on those there.
I'll take 4 a.m. indoors first, and then we'll go
Okay,
outdoors.
no, but I'm just saying there would be a massive. I don't know.
But
when you
that's the
told
kind of
me you
big
were trying to
thinking.
get San Francisco just for 4 or 5 a.m., I thought about all that. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, it could be a massive thing, to do. So
No, we can clearly do it, and we've got the outdoor now. So we have the first entertainment zone, but there's going to be 5 or 6 more entertainment zones, which are areas where people can drink outdoors. They're going to do one in the Castro, around Chase Center, around 2nd Street, over on Front Street. So this is also going to be a huge thing where you can have these night parties, and then once we get the 4 a.m., hopefully eventually those two things can combine.
yeah, I think
I think you got to have something Paul said, and it goes back to in the 70s. I was at the Paradiso in Amsterdam, and it was this 3 or 4 ring circus. You go to different floors, you could play chess over here, you got a restaurant over here, and it was really interesting. So when I opened my first nightclub with Club 9, we had the Art Motel, so we had artists doing rooms. That was the whole thing. Then we had the main room where the band played, 250 people. And then we had a little restaurant over here. But if you give people something with, and my art department, we would do crazy things. But people would go, you got to come check this out because it's so crazy. And we would always switch it up and change it. And I think San Francisco sort of is lost doing that kind of, where artists are in something like that. And you mentioned, and I think that's a great idea.
Well, we went tech for a long time. So we've been in the tech world before COVID, and then we went into COVID, which is catastrophic. But then all the young tech people have left. So now we're like The Walking Dead,
Well,
So
I will say, to Matt's point, we're seeing a change, right? The last couple of years were rough, without question, but